You're tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network, featuring news, interviews, and commentary on all things Black Hollywood. Hollywood redefined. From Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is Black Hollywood Live, This Week. Featuring news and commentary on This Week in Black Hollywood. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host for Black Hollywood Live This Week, Dario Kristen.
Hey everybody, you're watching Black Hollywood Live This Week. I'm your host, Dario Kristen, and here joining me in the studio today is the lovely in purple, Courtney Stewart.
Hello everybody.
And DJ Jesse J.
What's up? Y'all
We matched, right? Yeah, we color coordinated. And it's appropriate for one of our topics.
See what they do to the white boy.
That's right.
Leave him out,
Leave him out. Keep it black. Keep it black. Keep it black.
Black power, baby.
Black power, baby. All right, on
no
today's show. Right, we're a little racist today. On today's show, we're going to cover a variety of different topics, including Michael Jordan is going to be a dad again.
He's pregnant.
Yes. 2 million Google, Facebook, and Yahoo passwords were stolen. Damn shame. And the new head of the FBI in Chicago is looking for ways to combat city violence. And last but not least, which is going to be my favorite subject, Prince has just been announced to perform at the 2014 Essence Music Festival in New Orleans. Ow! That's for you, Prince. Ow! Let me do it twice. All right.
Oh my God.
All right, but first, I want to read the results from last week's Buzzer Meter question. And I hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving, by the way.
It does have a little gay in them.
Oh, here we go. That is not gay. That is a Prince.
No, your eye contact looking at Courtney to see if that was an acceptable move of yours was a little gay. You were like,
all right, I gave it a little side eye. All right. Last week's Buzzer Meter question results. Do you like that Jay-Z teamed up with Barney's? 34% of you said yes. 66% of you said no.
Shocking.
Shocking.
I decided we have a very specific demographic voting in that question.
I believe so. Did you guys vote?
I voted.
I did.
And what'd you say?
I thought yes, of course.
Oh, I was part of the 66%.
Okay.
I mean, it's whether he teamed up with Barney's like before all the drama. The teaming up happened before all the drama.
Right.
So I'm not mad he teamed up with Barney's. I like that he did it. But I hate that Barney's effed it up.
I don't like nothing that I can't afford.
Oh.
Well, there you go.
Why not?
Because
Can you afford a house right now?
Nope.
Does that mean you don't like
You don't
That's
like
why I
houses?
like apartments. That's why I like apartments. Right now, at this time in my life, I do not like houses. I like
Oh.
apartments.
Well, Jesse has spoken. He doesn't like anything that he can't afford.
I like
think you
lots
need
of
that on a
things that
t-shirt,
I can't
actually.
yet afford because I believe that
Yet
one day I
afford.
will afford them.
Oh, no, girl. One day, I mean, I'm going to be living on a yacht. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
I can't
well,
live on no yacht.
I can't.
Well,
I
Jay-Z
won't.
is living on a
I
yacht.
gotta do a
I'm not
season.
mad that
That don't sound
Jay-Z
good.
Fish, like,
has
I
teamed
can't
up with
do that.
Barney's, but the
It'll
result
smell.
actually afterwards with the racist
Sarah, what did you vote
profiling.
for?
Ocean is
I
stinky.
voted the 66% as well. So,
Haters.
I'm just saying. You know.
Haters.
All
I
right.
like 3LW.
All right. So this week's Buzz Meter question is it the government's responsibility to do a better job protecting us on the internet? You guys vote, and we will read those results next week. All right, we got a lot of subjects and topics we want to discuss today. But before we do that, we want to take a moment and give our condolences to an icon that we lost yesterday, Nelson Mandela. He died at the age of 95 on December 5th, and we want to offer our condolences to his family. He was not only an unbelievable leader, South Africa's first president, anti-apartheid hero, as well as he led his country to democracy. So, I mean, we are and a huge loss, but I know he's in a better place, but we definitely want to give him a special mention today on the show and his family.
For sure.
All right, on to trending topics. Jesse, what do you have for us today?
Well, along the same note, Paul Walker recently passed away this past Saturday in a car accident. He was leaving, I believe, the set of actually Fast and the Furious, and he was in the car with a Roger Rodas, and the two crashed into a into a pole, and both died instantly.
Yeah.
So I know Tyrese Vin Diesel showed up at a fan gathering, and Tyrese didn't say much. He broke down in tears. So again, we're sorry that this happened, and it's crazy because I was actually watching Fast and the Furious that morning.
Well, it's interesting too because leading up to that, they've been playing, like you said, a lot of Fast and Furious, and they've been playing the release for the DVD.
Because the DVD is
it comes out on December 10th, I believe.
Yeah.
And now I noticed that the message has changed to the end, where if you buy the DVD, that you will be giving money towards the proceeds to his charity, which is Reach Out Worldwide. So if you want to do that, please, buy the DVD, or you can contact the charity in your own way. And I think that you mentioned that he was leaving the Fast and Furious 7, but I think he was actually leaving the charity event. Event. So.
Yeah.
And I can't believe he's 40.
It's weird to think about that, but then I realized how many Fast and Furious movies there were, and I'm like, I guess it does make sense. But
and now everyone's coming around with the Illuminati thing.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Talking about, they're doing so much promo for the Fast and the Furious. Was this something like, I can't with people.
Well, all I know is, damn, he was fine.
Well,
Instagram reminded me.
Well, people were saying that he looks like a young Paul Newman, and I kind of can see that.
I've loved him.
I can kind of see that.
I hashtag obviously this is not the most important thing. The cool thing about, not the cool thing, the interesting thing that has come out of his passing is really learning about his charity and how much work he had been doing all over the place, which is awesome to kind of know about, but kind of sad at the same time because obviously he's now not with us anymore. Yeah. But, oh, honey, first white boy crush right there.
Well, the thing is, too, there's several people that I know who've worked with Paul, and they said that he was just really a regular dude.
Yeah.
They said that he was not caught up in the fame and all the hype. He really just enjoyed surfing, spending time with his 15-year-old daughter, who recently had moved in with him as well. So it's just a sad story all the way around because they said he was just such a standout guy and just a regular chill dude all the way around. So, and I also want to mention a lot of people, unfortunately, during this time focused on the celebrity, but there also was a loss of the driver who was his friend who was driving the car, Roger Rodas, who died as well with Paul. So we want to give our condolences to his family as well.
Amen. On an opposite note, we have Michael Jordan, the age of 50. He's pregnant. Well, okay, he's not pregnant, but his wife, Yvette Prieto, who is 35. He was doing such a young chick.
Of course he was doing
Come on now. I actually expect her to be 25.
Exactly.
Let's keep it real.
I would have given her 28.
Yeah, 28.
25 is still
That's a little young.
For
You're right.
50.
Yeah, for 50.
They've been together since, I think they got married in 2008.
We talked about their wedding.
Yeah, we did.
Didn't
Oh, no, they met in 2008.
They met in 2008.
I'm sorry. And then
They got married
last
this year. Yeah.
Wait, was it their wedding that Beyonce performed at?
I don't.
Oh no, that was
remember
LeBron James.
I just know it was like a huge,
James.
on the estate in Florida or something, and it was like crazy amounts of people and like insane amounts of money.
I just would like to know how airtight that prenup is because he lost half his fortune,
As
he should have. I was gonna get to that because I knew Courtney was ready with the swords.
And that's not losing half your fortune. That is splitting your fortune with the person that helped you attain it.
Okay, I will give you that, splitting half his fortune with his wife.
Deserve that.
Yes, she probably did deserve that, but I want to know how airtight this new prenup is because I'm actually surprised that he got married again.
I mean,
yeah, and I mean it's interesting because the quote that they say that is that they've been planning for months and months, ever since the wedding. He wanted to give Yvette everything she's ever wanted. This will be Jordan's fourth child. He already has 3. Jeffrey, 25, Marcus, 22, and daughter, 20.
Oh, he got grown.
Yes.
just kids are,
And then, I mean, we kept on hearing these stories about these random babies popping up, and are they really his kids or not? I mean,
well,
I guess he's making her happy.
That's her insurance policy.
And that sperm pool is still strong, apparently.
Yeah, because she is 35. The eggs be getting old.
Drinking a lot of Gatorade.
I ain't mad. Hope it's beautiful. Sure it will be.
In other news of Team Jordan, we've all kind of heard the rants and raves of Kanye West talking about, he wanted to have a Jordan sneaker since he was a little kid. He's been drawing them. Well, he didn't get it, unfortunately.
He's with Adidas now.
Yep, but Drake did. Drake is now the new face of Jordan.
Really?
He inked the deal. He announced it at a Portland concert, and he came out and said,
That's kind of...
Growing up, I'm sure we all idolized this guy. He goes by the name of Michael Jordan. Today, I came to Portland and I officially became inducted into the Team Jordan family. And it is a family, and I don't take that word lightly.
Why Drake?
I mean, he's in right now. People are saying, I mean, you can find something.
Sappy rap songs? it's like, why does that make?
Well, the interesting thing is this picture. It shows
how many Jordans he has.
He
yeah,
collects
but
them. Like lots of people do that.
He was in a little bit of a thing because there was this photo shoot. I showed you the picture of it. A younger Drake when he was just coming out, and everyone went in on him because they said he had fake Jordans on. He says they were custom made, but I mean, you're new in the industry. You know, you got to fake it till you make it.
Right.
I'm mad at it, but.
Well, this is a smart move for the Jordan brand too,
he's a
because
sneakerhead.
how many songs now is he going to come out with, or rap songs with the name
About
Jordan
Jordans.
brand in them? So it's definitely, you know, marketing genius at its best.
I don't know.
I think it.
I just feel like it doesn't make any sense at all.
Honestly, it kind of
Yeah, but, okay,
it kind
well,
of
let's look-
Kmart's it for me.
But let's look at all
It
the other
kinda Nicki
brands that
Minaj
have
Kmart's it.
associated with certain people. I mean, did the Kardashians make sense for JCPenney's?
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah,
JCPenney's?
Sears, yeah.
Sears.
But like you can't. But I feel like that. Like Jordans are something like real specific and real special. And Drake is not.
If it was
special.
Wale, like
But
I know.
I disagree with you. He is. I mean, the hip hop community embraces Drake strongly. So
Yeah, but not because of his like sneaker game or like there's no tie there. It's just like, oh, Drake's hot, so we're gonna pull him in for our sneakers.
Right, but if he's sitting at a basketball game and they flash his shoes and they show Jordans, I guarantee that someone's
people
gonna
are looking
pay
at
attention
Drake's
to that.
sneakers, like.
Or if he's at a rap concert, there's gonna be some kids checking for his sneakers if he's rocking the Jordans.
I mean, you
on
really
stage.
ain't checking for anything else on Drake, so I guess if his sneakers pop.
Do we have Drake haters on the
No,
other side
Oh
of the
no, no,
room?
I
I'm
don't-
very opposite of
He's
that.
in love with
Okay.
Drake,
Yeah.
which is
Okay.
fine. I don't. But I don't.
She thinks he looks like Alien.
It just doesn't make sense to me. Like it doesn't even like there's nothing because I'm from the outside, so I'm not necessarily a Drake fan.
Okay.
So I would be. It doesn't make a marriage to me at all, and I guess they're just trying to bring Drake's fans to Jordan, but that doesn't make sense either because I would think that Drake's fans already are about Jordan.
Yeah,
so
and, like-
he's not bringing a new audience because I'm not a fan, and I would be like, what do you have to do with Jordan? I don't get it.
Yeah, like someone like Wale, he's not that big, but you know, fans of Wale know he's a sneakerhead. Like it makes sense. Like with Drake, like okay, he took this picture. Like it's like a pop version of like I don't know. It just feels
And he's
watered
not
down.
like big and athletic to make me think like, okay, I'll think of athletic shoes in your vein. Like there's nothing about Drake that makes me think like cool sneakers.
Yeah.
I mean, I hear you,
buy
but I
them.
disagree with both of you.
Like,
'cause I
honestly,
still
they're
think
gonna
that
start
just
selling
his
Jordans
popularity
in
that he
Kmart.
will
Be
move.
like-
He will move.
They'll be in
He'll
Kmart.
move the button a little bit. I think. I think the
I
product.
think they're
will
going to
move.
be very
Their stock gonna
disappointed.
go down.
We'll see. We'll see. What do you
But I
guys
love
think?
her
Let us know
Drake.
what you guys think. Is this a
love you,
good
Drake.
move for Jordan Brand? You can
You
tweet
still look
us.
like
You can go
Frankenstein to me.
on iTunes and comment, or you can what
But
else?
I
You can
love
go to
you,
YouTube and
Drake.
comment as well. All right. What'd you say?
But I love
Jesse's
you,
still
Drake.
singing the love
But he still
song.
loves
All right,
Drake.
but
All right.
also if you guys love TV, we have our sister network, AfterBuzz TV, our mother.
That was our cousin.
It
I thought it was
you know
our
what?
baby cousin.
I'm just officially giving it our mother network, AfterBuzz TV, because that's what the hell it
I
is. I,
think it
don't
should
know
be our
why
baby
I
daddy.
allowed the people
It
in the
could be our
damn
baby
booth
daddy.
to affect my brain and call it the cuz site. I don't even know where that originated from, but it is our mother site. It's AfterBuzz TV. Whatever your favorite TV show is, Real Housewives of Atlanta, Scandal, ooh, this week's Scandal.
They up their game. Okay.
I needed someplace to talk to it, so after that I went to AfterBuzzTV.com as soon as the show was done and got on my daily post-game wrap-up for each episode.
All right. Thank you, Jesse. I know you were quite excited about that.
I was. I'm really excited about AfterBuzz TV.
All right.
Best
So
thing
on to
ever.
rumors and gossip. Miss Courtney, what do you have
Okay,
for us
hopefully
today?
I can read. I just have hair in my eye right now. Okay. I don't know what's happening.
That's very
So,
Prince of you.
I'm
to
like,
have the hair over the eye. Very Prince. Very Prince and Aaliyah of you.
yes, we try. We
Illuminati.
try. Okay, so first up, we have Miss Evelyn Lozado is in the news, and it ain't for jumping over a table and beating down somebody, you guys. She has grown up in so many ways, and one of those ways is she's about to give birth. She announced over social media with a selfie that she was 6 months pregnant. Nobody knows for sure who the baby daddy is, but there's gossip on the street, and the gossip is as follows. Her rumor baby daddy is Mr. Carl Crawford, who is a player on the LA Dodgers. And apparently, honey, Mr. Crawford is doing real well because he is worth $142 million.
What he do?
Oh, he's a baseball player and he is playing really well apparently because he is worth a whole lot of money. Okay.
Wait a minute. How long has this man been playing baseball?
I mean, I don't know because I don't know nothing about baseball all like that. But I do know they get some big deals, and people play baseball for a long time. I feel like because there's people that are still playing on baseball teams when I used to care about baseball since I was a kid, and I'm like, aren't you too old? But they still
I
playing.
know Roger Clemens. That's about it.
So I used to follow the Braves. So like Chipper Jones is still on the team. I'm like, dude, shouldn't you be like 50 now? But anyway, so he's 32 years old, attractive man, worth a whole lot of money. So congratulations, Evelyn. You got the baby you were hoping for. And apparently, hopefully, a relationship she was hoping for that'll last. They've only been together possibly about a year. So congratulations. She's real smart.
She was like, messing around with these basketball and football players. Like,
Let me go get a long-term baseball player. He ain't going to be all jacked up by the end of his work, like with half a brain, like the football players lose some of their brain cells and can't function right. And then basketball, your body all wore out. Go to baseball.
Do you think Chad's worth over $100 million?
I think Chad ain't got no money.
Well, no.
I was like, I think it might be.
Wait. Now, but like when he was like popping.
I don't know.
100 million?
I don't think so.
I feel like that's a little
100
high
million
for him.
is a lot.
Yeah.
And their football careers are short.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And he was never like that big of a star on football, was
Yeah,
he?
I don't think he
so.
was.
But Chad did have a little something to say
He did.
about the baby. He told TMZ, quote, "I'm super happy for her. I will always love her and wish her nothing but the best. I have unisex Louboutin infant spikes ready as my gift."
Why? That's very inappropriate.
Was that kind of a read?
What does that even mean?
A little bit? A little
No.
diss?
Oh, no.
I don't think he's that gay.
Girl or boy, Louboutins. Working
Infant
for her.
spikes.
I mean, what
Well, I
else?
guess it is officially over for them then, huh? There was a lot of people were like, "Is
you
this?"
smashed my head and it been over.
Well,
Well, she did have some trouble
there
saying
are
no.
others who have had their heads smashed at Rihanna that got back with their men as well. So I'm just saying, Rihanna.
Right. Well, luckily, Miss Evelyn Lozada
kept
was
this-
strong enough to just say no and found her a baller for real.
She kept that really under wraps.
She did keep that real under
I think
wraps.
that was, I think that was smart though for her.
No,
to
and
keep
I
it
mean,
under
I'm
wraps.
close with the situation.
To get
like,
6 months along and keep it under wraps is pretty impressive. 3, 4, maybe even 5.
because she's big.
Yes.
Yeah, she's.
She popped
Yeah.
out. But they also say sometimes, like, until the girl actually, like, admits it. Well, I guess that ain't really true, because some girls would be fat. But, like, a lot of times until they actually say it, like,
That's
it's
when
not
you can see
noticeable.
it.
And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, it totally is apparent that she's pregnant, as opposed to just gaining weight. So, anyway,
All right.
congratulations.
Congratulations.
Keep it chill. Speaking of strong ladies. So... God, I shouldn't laugh. I'm sorry. I'm going to try to keep my composure because I am a professional. All right. So this past Sunday was December 1st, which marked the 58th anniversary of the day that Rosa Parks said, hell no, I ain't going, and wouldn't get up out of her seat in Alabama on the bus, which obviously was a big catalyst moving into the civil rights movement. And the GOP decided that they wanted to commemorate this anniversary and recognize how important Rosa Parks was to the movement and to racism and the things happening in our country. So they sent out a tweet. They obviously posted a picture of her with her quote that says, "You must never be fearful about what you are doing when it is right." And the RNC commented on their Twitter underneath the picture, "Today, remember."
Is that your Rosa Parks voice that you just did?
This is the RNC voice. Today, we remember Rosa Parks' bold stand and her role in ending racism.
Retweet hashtag white people be like.
So, for those of you that don't quite understand why it's hysterical, it's because they said she ended racism, and that sparked a Twitter frenzy
On
of
Black Twitter.
amazingness. If you did not see some of these tweets, you really need to look up this hashtag and like pull up some
Yeah,
of
it
these
was,
tweets.
it was some pretty hilarious
But
ones, actually.
the hashtag was hashtag racism ended when. So lots of people were chiming in like, okay, Donna Brazil from CNN hashtagged in, "Racism ended when black was in vogue and colorblind was a term of endearment," which I like because colorblind is bogus, but we can talk about that another time. Someone by the name of Liz Winstead commented, "Racism ended when the Jeffersons moved on up." And So
Wait. I have. Wait,
Wow.
do you have
Jesse has more.
Wow.
Wait, racism. Do you have more?
No, go on.
Racism ended when Run DMC joined Aerosmith on Walk this
No,
week.
it's hilarious.
Racism ended when Eminem won the rap battle in 8 Mile.
I saw that one.
Racism ended when Oprah started giving away cars on her show. Oprah gave white people reparations.
So, as comical as this was for all of us, it was not comical for the RNC because they were trying to be serious and sincere.
Yeah.
So they retweeted again and tried to correct their mistake, and they said, quote, previous tweet should have read, quote, today we remember Rosa Parks' bold stand and her role in fighting to end racism.
Big typo.
Which also
Huge.
just was a catalyst for more Twitter battling,
Exactly.
which they were like, of course it should have. So people went on and gave them a really hard time. And obviously there's this whole like argument about whether the RNC understands brown folks, black folks, any folks other than rich white folks. And this obviously did not look so great
I think
for
the
their
question has been answered.
plight. I mean, ended racism.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. But that gave me a whole lot of joy on Sunday, so I'm not mad. Like, I literally was reading those racism ended when tweets.
Yeah, they were pretty
for
hilarious,
quite some
actually.
time. And in conclusion this week, speaking of special people, so for those of you guys that didn't know, your Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, social media accounts could have been hacked. Not safe. So over 2 million passwords for the sites of Facebook, Yahoo, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Google were stolen and posted online, as reported by the BBC. Security experts told the BBC that a criminal gang may be behind the security breach. The passwords and credentials were taken from people all over the world, not just in America. And the company Trustwave finds the site where the information was posted was written in Russian. Stolen passwords in general were weak passwords. Weak passwords are passwords like these. Quote, 123456. Not a good password, guys. 1234567889. Not a good password either, guys. No. 1234. Not a secure password, guys. And lastly, password. Not a good password, guys. So, if you're worried about your accounts, you might want to, change up your passwords. You might want to think of something a little complicated. Other languages help sometimes.
Yes.
Use some little, what do you call those things? Like little marks, hashtags, apostrophes. Add some little punctuation up in there. Help you out a little bit.
Change your passwords. Don't
Well,
have
they,
the same
change
yes,
your
password.
they
regularly.
say you should change your password once a month.
That's a little crazy.
Yeah, I just have different passwords for everything.
It's exhausting because there's like
It is.
so many sites and so many things, and you got to have something that you'll remember. And I'm constantly having to be like,
Me
forgot
too.
password.
Me too. I'm the master of forget password. Can't remember. Send me the email.
Please
whatever
send me
it
the
is.
email so I can
Yeah.
reset it. And then I reset it, and it turns out it's the password that I had, and I got to change it again because I didn't remember it.
Yeah.
So anyway, that being said, obviously, these sites are not that secure. We have all of our information on them, and it's a major concern.
Yeah.
Well, it's been
And-
going on. We had the situation a couple months ago with Obama's
Yeah.
Twitter account being hacked, and all those fake tweets were sent out. I mean, I just said, like you said, just keep changing the passwords. That's the only way to solve the problem.
Like, what are they gonna do with like someone's Facebook? And
That's what I was thinking. At first when I heard it, I was kind of like, okay, so what? Like,
Well,
hack my Facebook.
Yeah, but some people put very private things on their Facebook that everybody.
Then you're dumb.
Yeah,
Like,
what-
I'm
that's
sorry,
true,
I
but-
can pass judgment,
no, but
it's not
okay.
smart.
Honestly, like, really, what is private that you put on your Facebook?
I mean, you put your employee information, or a lot of people do. Their school, where you can easily be found. If you go to
That's true.
a restaurant, you're. It's so intertwined now, where you're
And
tweeting
the check
that
ins
I'm
and stuff.
here, and if somebody,
That's why you don't do that.
yeah, I mean, if
that
somebody
makes
wants to
sense.
find you,
They can find you. It's an identity theft issue too,
Yeah.
because like LinkedIn, especially, you have a lot of your professional
Your professional
information, so
thing.
people could totally take on your full
For
identity
sure.
from LinkedIn and stuff like that. So I get it, I guess.
Well, and also they did it to Bank of America too, because
yeah, they hack everywhere. But I mean, it's tough to like stop it. I mean, it's not.
You just got to be on top of it, and once again, just change your password.
And just be careful what sites you be on.
Right.
Mm.
That too.
Or like things you click, like I know Courtney ain't sending me some random blue link without no conversation that says
Right.
like bite me, like, you know what I mean, like,
Well, maybe she is,
I
but
might.
she might.
you know.
But
She is in her feisty purple
Because
today.
it blows my mind the things that my friends are like, oh, I got hacked because I clicked this link. It's like, that link looks poisonous.
Yeah.
Like, who sends a sentence with like 7 emojis? Well, 7 emojis with like alien written crypt on it. Like, that just looks.
Alien
You know
written
what I'm
crypt.
saying?
Just be thoughtful, people. Think
Yes.
about what you are doing because you can only protect yourself.
Protect yourself.
Protect
it up.
yourself. Or you can vote and tell the government to protect you,
Yes.
as in our buzzer meter question.
That's right. Is that it, Courtney, for the
That
gossip
is
and rumors?
all for gossip and rumors.
Well,
this
thank you.
week.
Well, since we're talking about the subject of kind of, I guess, passwords, you also need one to log into iTunes, and you can rate and comment for us. We
Great
pay
segue. Great
we-
segue.
Great segue, right? We do pay attention to all that stuff. We have a variety of different shows that you can download and listen to, such as The Beat with Jesse right here, Fashion 411 with Courtney,
Oh, yeah.
Portraits with all three of us. We just had an unbelievable interview with Mel B from the Spice Girls and America's Got Talent last week. Stand Up, Sit Down, Geek, Nerd, Tech, and Love on Top, and the list goes on. And please go there, tell a friend, rate us, comment, let us know what we're doing right, what you like, what you don't like, because we want to continue to give you unbelievable programming and make you happy. So,
Yeah.
but change those passwords.
We're here to please.
We're here to please and change those passwords. All right, on to hot topics today. Well, let's see here. We have the new head of the FBI in Chicago who is under a lot of pressure to reduce some of the homicides in the Windy City. Robert Holley, who just assumed his new FBI position, said to the Associated Press, in quote, 25% of the Chicago agents work on violent crimes and crime cases, and some of his upcoming challenges in order to kind of change this policy include the spending constraints that he has. There's a major focus on gang, gun, and drug crimes, which could jeopardize other investigative priorities, including corruption, counterterrorism, and cyber crimes. So he's got a big job under his belt right now. Holly also stated, could I move resources from one investigative branch to another? I could, but I would have to take away from other programs, and I don't know if I'm willing to accept the risk right now, which makes sense. There's a few facts I want to give you guys as well. With the Chicago killings, they topped last year at 500. It's the first time it hit that mark since 2008. Now, the homicide rate has declined in 2013. It declined about 20%. So this past month, the toll was 30 homicides compared to last year, which was 39 homicides. So far, Chicago has seen 395 homicides this year, with 325 due to gunshots. Now, I know the city has done a lot of things to also kind of change that system around. There's a lot of gun control kind of programs that they're putting together to assist in helping with stopping the gun violence there. One of the things is the Chicago police have made a pact to control gun violence in the Windy City. Earlier this year, they sent hand-delivered letters to people suspected of committing or being victims of gun crimes.
Oh, wow.
The system was to warn certain targets not to commit violent crimes. Now, there's also been a lot of celebrities who've gotten involved, like Derrick Rose. He's trying to help the city really get the gun laws under control, as well as there's a lot of messaging that the city police and the FBI are trying to change just to communicate to the community about, we need to really go down and control this problem because it's major in the city. Now, one thing that happened earlier in the last couple of months is the National Guard was rumored to be involved with the police in Chicago to kind of control this gun control.
Jeez.
But the police superintendent, Gary McCarthy said that he wanted to decline that. That wasn't true. He said that it was in talks, but he doesn't feel that it's necessary right now to involve the National Guard. What do you guys think and feel that Chicago should do to control more of this gun issue that they continue to have? Do you think it was a bad idea to not get the National Guard involved?
That is a big question. Getting the National Guard involved, like...
That's going to shut a lot of things down.
Yeah, but
That's
it's just so
intense.
serious. It's like you're turning this city into like
a military
yeah.
state for a while to get it.
Like
Yeah, but do you think that by doing that, that'll scare certain people into not doing... doing things, and do you think that that'll last?
I don't know. I think it goes two ways. I think it goes, yes, it could. I mean, I remember living in New York after 9/11. You would be like on South Streetport, and there were just dudes at the mall with serious guns. And it made me not want to really go to the mall. It made me not really want to like be out there because it just felt like I was not here in America. I felt like, I don't know, it just was really crazy. So it did put the fear, but at the same time, it's kind of like, what are you promoting? What if they backlash? What if it causes more riots? What if it causes the opposite to that?
Yeah, but I think a lot of people in the city right now want this under control. So do you think that do you really think that a riot would happen if the National Guard got involved?
I don't know. I watched too much Sons of Anarchy. Like,
I mean, I think it's that's tough. I mean, I guess on one hand, like getting the National Guard involved would sort of be a stronger presence, and the issue of police and funding and the amount of police available and that kind of thing will sort of be helped by that. But the root of the problem, I'm not sure we have a clear grasp on, because I can't, sitting here, I'm like, okay, yes, Chicago. I lived in Chicago for like 4 years going to school. I knew kids from different areas of Chicago that were not the greatest areas of Chicago and whatnot. So it's an interesting study that Chicago's having so many problems, like so astronomically different from any other city that's having, I mean, I know the financial crisis affected the poorer communities.
For sure.
Much more than obviously other communities, but that's not that different from other cities, I would imagine. So what is it specific about Chicago that's got this happening?
Well, they said one of the things was the heavy drug trafficking. The drug cartel.
So there's been an increase in drug cartels in the city, so maybe the National Guard is a good thing to sort of push those out, but that just means they'll go to another city, I would assume, and I don't know.
That, and then I think you're just going to dig deep and you're going to find people within.
The whole corruption thing and taking money away from the corruption was funny when you said that, because I ain't trying to say nothing, but I would bet money
we've all seen Sons of Anarchy.
Is a part of that corruption, which is why it wouldn't be helpful to, like, it's so sad. Like, are we just, not to say a bad word, but effed? Like, because if it's really, like, it extends through every rank of government, like, what can really be done if that's the true root of the problem, is that everybody is, like, twisted and intertwined with what they're pretending like they're trying to get rid of?
I mean, that's true.
No.
I don't know, but hopefully they can figure out some type of solution. I mean, the great thing is that the homicides are down.
Yeah.
I mean, 20%. I mean, I'll take that. You know.
But in Chicago, it's like a lot of kids killing kids.
It is a lot of kids killing
that's
kids.
Scary. And if it's drugs, can we get them jobs somewhere else? Like, what do we have to do to like make like the drug war not interesting? Like, I don't want to get shot because I need to sell crack or whatever, cocaine or whatever it is.
Focusing on the schools. I think that's kind of where you have to go, because you're not going to change the people who are doing it. The only thing you can really change is the next generation.
Getting more people to do it with them.
Focusing on school and education, that's key. Well, that kind of is a great safe way.
But if you can't go to school because you could get shot, how do you fix that?
That's going to be an ongoing subject.
National Guard, just going in there and
let's just go ahead and plummet it over, the National Guard. But we were talking about education, and another story that was in the headlines is education. It's actually the U.S. kids recently took a test called the PISA. Actually, it's U.S. and international kids took this test. It's called the Program for International Student Assessment. The U.S. test scores were stagnant while other countries see a rapid growth. The PISA is an international assessment test that measures 15-year-old students in reading, math, and science. It has about 510,000 students who took the exam. It first was administered in 2000 and is conducted every 3 years. The last results for 2012 were just released, and here's what they were. Number one is East Asian countries maintain the top slots for the best test taking. Poland, Germany, Ireland, and Vietnam all have generated tremendous growth, even though a lot of these students were from lower income and poor areas. The U.S., as I mentioned, remained pretty stagnant in all 3 categories, including reading, math, and science. Randy Weingarten from the American Federation of Teachers Union said this: today's PISA results drive home what has been abundantly clear. While the intentions may be good, a decade of top-down test-based schooling focused on hyper-testing students, sanctioning teachers, and closing schools has failed to improve the quality of American public education. Sadly, our nation has ignored the lessons from high-performing nations. Now, some people thought that was a little bit of negative input and negative comments, so others had some more positive words to say, one including Wendy Kopp, who is the founder of Tech for America. She said this: these results show us what's possible for countries to achieve, and they also show that some countries continue to improve, which should give us all a sense of possibility. Now, my question to the host and to the audience, do you think that the U.S. focuses their education too much on certain things like fame, reality TV, getting a sports deal versus getting your education is one question. And do you think the U.S. school system is actually failing? Because we're starting to see these results, and we used to be kind of in the top of this pool, and now we are sinking, or staying stagnant, but also sinking.
I mean, I don't know if we're like, I don't know. I mean, okay, we've personally had conversations about the schools, talking about like Jay-Z and stuff. I mean, when I grew up, I don't think I learned about pop culture really, other than art class or something. I think we're so focused on, like, for me, history was probably the biggest part of my high school. Whereas, like, I just think we need to learn more day-to-day things in life. Where, I don't know, if I get bored and the ADD America is so strong with ADD right now. And I don't know how that goes for the rest of the world. But I just know so many kids who sit there and they're like, I can't listen to this teacher. There's 30 kids in the class. My brain isn't focused here. And here in America, we're not afraid of authority. Right. If the teacher says, do your work, like, no, I don't need to. Like, I've gotten in how many fights myself with teachers, like, I don't need to. You're not going to make me do this, and I'm still going to go to the next class. And it's this privilege of being able to talk back and not take this seriously. And I don't know if that comes from where we are as Americans or where we are in the home.
Courtney? I feel like you got some things.
I mean, I will say that reading about this, it's obviously very disappointing. And I think the biggest disappointment is not so much that we're not the top, because I don't necessarily think that we have to be the top all the time. But the idea that there's been no growth is a bit disturbing.
It's kind of scary.
And I think it speaks more, if anything, to the fact of our acceptance of mediocrity in our schools, which I think is appalling. Yeah. And I don't work for the school systems. I don't know the ins and outs of the school systems. I just know I got kids in the school system, and I can speak for what I see happening just in California schools. Mm-hmm. And simple things like math homework, where the things that we want to memorize and regurgitate is a focus on the homework, but the more challenging, like, word problems that require multiple steps of thought to figure out, you only have to do 2 out of 6 of those. And the teacher actually tells you only have to do 2, not try them all. It's okay if you don't get it or if it's not right, but give your brain that exercise and we'll work it out in class. It's like, just do those 2. And it's usually the easiest 2.
Right.
And my specific reference right now is a 3rd grader. So that's what I see happening at that level. And to me, that just is an indication of us still trying to, like, bring all the kids along together. And this whole idea that, like, being able to, like, make up every assignment, or, like, if you don't do well on a test, you get to keep doing it until you do well on the test. Like, I don't think that encourages excellence, whatever your level of excellence is at any level.
So, but isn't that the school not being strict enough, or is that from the home?
I think that's both.
Well, it's both.
I think they're trying to cater to this sort of culture of mediocrity that somewhere, I don't know where it came from really, but I think that they're catering to that, but they're also catering to the whole testing society that's how we give our money, is based on testing. And I think and the other cool thing I think that at least came out of that study is them talking about the amount of money that we spend on education, and those other countries, lots of other countries that are beating us are not spending more money on our education. But a lot of them, I can't remember the countries, sorry, but they have an even distribution of the funds for education, whether you are wealthy or not. So this whole concept that we use property taxes to fund our schools, so richer neighborhoods have better schools, whereas people who live in poor neighborhoods who actually may need the money more because they don't have the access to opportunity and the school systems or whatever, may need that money. So maybe we need to reevaluate how we actually fund schools so that there's a more even distribution, so that the people that need to be brought up are brought up, and the people that are already up will still be up and still do their thing. But I know nobody is going to want to go for that in this country because we're
too much work.
Well, it's too much work. And as I was reading, I was wondering, like, do we not hold our kids to the same higher education standards that other countries do? Because they were saying in the article as well that some of these international countries do have really strict rules for the kids. And as you were saying, we are a little bit more lax in the U.S. about that. Now, and I thought it was interesting to show the comparison of poverty and lower incomes are such a heavy subject that we talk about in the U.S. with education. Now, we're showing the results that they have the same situations over there, but those kids in the lower income areas are still testing well, where our kids aren't. So we need to find out something is a hole somewhere. We need to figure out where that change needs to come. Because we can't use that as an excuse anymore of where you live or your zip code, because clearly we can see it with the international students that that's not a factor for them.
I just honestly, like, this is going to sound really crazy, but I feel like there's no way from where we are right now as a generation for them to do that unless they brought entertainment into the school system at this.
But see, that goes back to what I said before. We too focused on that part of things in the US.
I think it comes down to chemical imbalances in people, like in kids. Like, a lot of these kids growing up are. It's just the problems that they have at such a young age, like ADD, like, what? No, like, you just are overactive, like it's just everything's being dealt with medications, and that really affects people. Like, there are kids growing up that I would go to school with who were just as smart as me, but they were given certain rights and able to go, with another teacher, and but they weren't learning anything different. In other words, they actually got to take an easier test and slack off and be able to get the same grades.
So you're saying you think are we like over medicating kids so they're not using their minds the way that they could, or that we're using like ADD and things like that as excuses to make things easier for kids, and then
I think it's a little bit of both. I know people who use the ADD, the ADHD. Oh, it's this. No, it's not. Like, really sit down and look at the problem. Everyone can read, because guess what? If it was Iron Man comic book, he'd be sitting right here reading it.
Or the new Jay-Z lyric.
And telling you about it. It's just about where our mind is focused on. And I don't think it's focused on that in the schools. I don't think entertainment is like, we're talking about Beyonce and all that. With amongst the kids, yes. So I'm wondering if we have become this nation that we've talked about as, well, here we are going to be America, just the entertainment slaves of the world.
Right.
It's scary.
Well, you were talking, too, about how the school system's changed. Even though I know being a kid how things are different now than what they were when I was a kid. Like, we had recess. Kids, we had a lot of school activities, where a lot of schools now are reducing the amount of activities that they offer to kids. Recess is, in a lot of schools, is gone. So we were talking about hypertension and those things. I mean, I was just having this conversation with a friend of mine the other day who has a kid. These kids are in school. I mean, of course they're going to have a lot of energy if they're sitting in a classroom all day and not getting exposed to some of the things that we were exposed to as a kid. I was even saying with a friend, like in Switzerland, they have a program where part of their education is taking the kids out to go skiing, countryside. And these are like 5th graders, 4th graders that they're doing this for. And their education is going well there, So I think that there's a lot of programs that have been cut here that also are affecting how kids are active in school, their education level in school, and there's something that we need to think about. There's a layer that we're missing, clearly, that we need to figure out.
What's wrong with us? We're like spend the most money on like diets and exercise and what? Yeah, we're the fattest people in the world.
Right.
Like we spend all this money on education and school education. Period. Higher education is ridiculously expensive and inaccessible to so many people. Yeah, we're still not the smartest in the world. So what the heck are we doing?
Right. But everybody wants to come to America.
Because there's still greatness here, which is, I like that this person, the other second quote you had that said, like, it's about possibility and the things that can come from it.
Yeah.
It's just, why are our wires so crossed? Like, is it just that we still won't admit that there's a problem because we've done it this way for so long and we're going to keep doing it this way and that's the American way?
You have to, at this point, I think it's about tricking the generations into learning. I think that we have dumbed.
But I'm like tricked.
No, honestly, but seriously, we have dumbed ourselves down as a country to the point where, now you have to play. We have to get down to that level in order to get these kids thinking correctly. Because look at what they're raised in. They'd rather be sitting on their phone watching Teen Mom than reading or watching The Great Gatsby.
Stop giving them phones.
Yeah.
Well, that amazes me.
I think we're too
that'll
far
turn
gone
into
now.
a whole nother conversation.
That's a whole other 2 hour.
Too excited in class. Slap it up, sit down, and shut up. That's what I had. That's what amazes me though. Like these, oh, you're so active in class, and you need medication, and obviously there are definitely like mental problems that need it. I'm not saying that, but we know we are an over-medicated society. Like we grown-ups are over-medicated.
Yes, very true.
We medicate ourselves every Friday night at the bar.
Well, it's like a quick fix. Everybody wants a quick fix.
So I just, come on. We need the kids to get it together, y'all.
Let's get it together. Let's get it together. But we'd also like to hear your feedback as well. So tweet us. Let us know what you guys think about the educational system in the U.S.
Fix it.
How we can fix it. Come together as a country.
Like spit out some
like
ideas.
Mandela did for his country. Let's
start a big YouTube chat.
Let's do it.
I want to know what you guys think.
What can you do to fix education in this country?
Where do we start?
Where do we start? All right, our final subject of today, which I have said this already, I'm really excited about, is the purple badness himself. Ow! I'm going to do it twice. Ow! Ow! That was 3 times. All right, he is headlining the 2014 Essence Music Festival, which takes place in New Orleans July 3rd through the 6th. It's the 20th annual festival. It's the celebration of music and culture. Prince performed back in 2004. They're bringing him back. This is what the Essence Communication President Michelle Ebanks had to say about bringing Prince back. Welcoming an artist as iconic as Prince back to Essence is incredibly exciting. We are pleased to support Prince and the rebuild, the dream, innovation, and advocating for our youth. Now, there's also going to be other performances in the 2014 lineup, which they said they'll announce kind of closer to the beginning of the year. Some of the past performances, though, include Shaka Khan, Mary J. Blige, D'Angelo, Aretha Franklin, Melanie Fiona, and Anthony Hamilton. So I've actually gone, and it's pretty exciting. I was
going to say, I'm going to have to suck up the heat and deal with that
You know
swamp.
what? It's all good. It's a good time. It's definitely worth it. So, get your tickets, support Prince, his badness. I'm hoping to be there myself, so maybe we can do some live Black Hollywood live shows from there.
From
and
the Essence
crowd.
Festival. That'd be fantastic.
That'd be
everyone tweet Maria Menounos and tell her that we should be
Yes, tweet Maria Menounos and say BHL needs to be at the Essence Festival. That's right. All right, that's the show for today, but I also want to remind you guys to go to the buzz meter question for today, which is the government responsible to do a better job protecting us on the internet? Let us know what you think, and we will read those results on next week's show. Courtney, where can your fans find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Stuart Starlet.
Also
Jesse?
on Twitter, Instagram at DJ Jesse J.
You can find me at Daryl Christon, DERRIALCHRISTON on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You guys have been finding me. I like that. I've been liking the interaction between some of these Twitter questions.
Shout out to Karen or Corinne. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Balshod. You're awesome.
You are the best.
Who is it? Isilia?
Isilia.
Racewell?
Yes.
Love you guys. Thank you for your
comments. You guys are giving us some really good topics to include in our show as well. So keep doing it. Thank you guys for tuning in to Black Hollywood Live this week, and we'll see you next Friday.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, Dario Kristen, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network. If you have questions or comments, tweet us at BHL Online or email us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. For more exclusive content, visit blackhollywoodlive.com. This has been a presentation of the Black Hollywood Live Network.
Hollywood redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.
Thanks for watching Black Hollywood Live on YouTube. For more in-depth interviews and news, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion in the comment section below here. See you soon, everyone. Bye.